A story from the tales of Cissy and Leele. The night on ice. School had just let out for the winter break, and it seemed every amusement show that was invented was coming to town. The circus was on its way, the carnival had just arrived, the traveling ice rink skaters were here. And above all else, the most popular kiddie band in town was to open with new songs at the theatre. It was an exciting time, exciting for everyone. Grandma told Cissy that since she was the oldest, she would be in charge this year of picking out the place that they would all go. It would be her choice, and her choice alone, to decide on a show that they would go to see. Leele. The little sister frowned at first after hearing this, but soon gave in and was just happy that the whole family was going to go out together. After laying across her bed and carefully considering all of the places to go, Cissy's decision was that the circus came in first. Well, just before Cissy decided to tell Grandma Von of her choice to pick the circus, she wanted to share the good news with Leele. She pointed out to her little sister how it would be fun to see all the animals and the clowns and the big tents at the circus. Leele. I thought about the ice rink show, but instead have settled on going to the circus. Leele, after hearing the news about the circus, turned to her sister and asked, "What's an ice rink show, Cissy? What do they do there?" Cissy folded her brows and looked at her little sister with surprise. "What's an ice rink show? Do you mean to tell me that you don't remember the time that we all went to that ice rink show?" Leele nodded her head from side to side and answered, "Nope. I sure don't. Maybe I was too small to remember." Cissy, who was still lying across her bed, sat up, put her arm around her little sister's shoulder, and said, "Well, let me tell you. It was where everybody got dressed up in costumes, and danced, and skated around the ice. There were plastic flowers dropping from the ceiling and fake snow, and at the end, they had an ice skating race for all the kids who were there." With a smile on her face, Leele replied to her sister, "That sure sounds like fun. Do you remember if I got out there with all the kids and raced with everybody?" "Nope, you didn't go out there. You were too small. I think Grandma held you in her lap while I had all the fun." Leele looked at her sister and said, "I sure wish I could have fun skating and racing." Cissy folded her arms in anguish and looked at her little sister. "Well, I've got my mind made up on seeing the circus this year, and nothing can change that." "Not nothing at all." Leele thought about it for a while and then said, "I'll give you my little doll Toodles if you'll change your mind and pick the ice rink show." She then walked over to her bed and picked up Toodles from the pillow that it was resting on, gave it one big final hug, and then held out her arms to offer it. Cissy knew that Toodles was special to her little sister, just as her doll Teddy was to her. "You mean to tell me that you're willing to give away Toodles just to go to an ice rink show? What about Toodles being your best friend? Always being there for you on dark, scary nights? Are you just going to forget about that? I like Toodles and really don't want to give my doll away, and do wish that I had something else to give." Cissy thought about it for a while. She then put her hand on top of her little sister's head, patted her and said, "I guess the ice rink show would be nice. You can also forget about giving Toodles to me. I don't want to take your best friend." Leele looked at her and said, "Thanks, Cissy. Not only will you forever be my favorite sister, you'll always be my best friend." The two then ran to the front of the house and told Grandma Von of the grand news. The news that they would all go to the ice rink show this year. Well, later in the day, they all loaded into the car, went to the ice rink show, and sure enough, found it to be fun. At the end of the show, a man in a tall hat and wearing long red suspenders to hold up his big baggy pants, told all the kids that they could come down to the ice rink to begin the race for prizes. All the children were lined up when the man blew his whistle to begin the 3-lap race. Cissy started fast and got in front at the beginning and was going neck to neck racing a boy about her age. They had gone through 2 laps and nobody knew who would win the last part of the contest. When they started the 3rd and final lap, Cissy was leading the race. As she turned the corner, she moved comfortably ahead of the boy. And that's when she saw her little sister Leele up ahead, sitting on the ice crying. Someone in their rush had knocked her down, and the hard fall made her weep. When Cissy saw this from afar, she began to wonder if she should stop to help her little sister or continue to race. This was the big race that everybody would be talking about in school. And she knew it. The finish line was right in front of her, and the glory of winning was just past where her sister now sat crying on the cold ice. As she approached, the finish line was getting closer and closer, and so too was her sister sitting there near the finish line on the cold ice. There would probably never be another chance to win a race like this, she thought to herself. What should I do? What should I do? She asked herself again and again. If I stop now, the boy is surely to win. As she got closer and closer, the decision became easier and easier to her. She looked back at the boy who was racing just behind her, and then looked ahead once again to her sister sitting on the ice crying. What happened next surprised everyone. Just 5 feet from the finish line, she skidded to a stop so fast that it made the ice underneath her ice skates fly into the air. She did not stop at the finish line at all, but rather at her little sister's side. She then bent over, blocked all of the speeding skaters who were coming towards them, and helped her little sister to her feet. When the two made it back to their grandmother after the race, Grandma Von said, "Cissy, I'm as proud of you as a grandmother could ever be. Today I saw you grow up." "How did I grow up, Grandma?" "You chose to help your little sister over winning a race that was very important to you. That was a great sacrifice and the most admirable thing I have ever seen." Leele said, "I didn't mean to make you lose, Cissy. I'm sorry you couldn't win." Cissy looked at them both and, with a smile on her face, said, "Maybe I can win it all next year. You do know I am getting faster and faster at ice skating."